In the courtroom, I stood proudly before a judge and I said 5 words: Kamala Harris for the people. And to be clear, my entire career, I've only had one client, the people.
That is the bullshit that tens of thousands of Democrats lost their deluded minds cheering for at the Democratic National Convention. But it's a fucking lie. For 27 years, Kamala Harris was a prosecutor and then Attorney General in California. Harris's client during that time was not the people. Her client was the system that rules over the people. She served then, and she is still serving now, the system of capitalism imperialism, a system that rests on white supremacy, male supremacy, ruthless exploitation, vicious oppression, and plunder all over the world. Now, some people claim that Harris was a progressive prosecutor. Bullshit. Harris was an enthusiastic part of the machinery of state terror, of mass incarceration and brutality that has robbed generations of Black and brown people of their lives and their futures. Harris energetically enforced California's notorious 3 strikes law, California's version of stop and frisk, and the nationwide so-called war on drugs. During the years that Harris was a prosecutor and then Attorney General, California's prison population skyrocketed. It went from 87,000 in 1990 to 173,000 in 2006. Black people make up just 6% of California's population, but they make up 29% of its prison population. Latinos are 39% of the population, but 43% of those imprisoned. Harris didn't do this for the people. She did this for the system that rules over and brutally oppresses the people. In 2011, the crowding in California's prisons was so severe that in one prison, 54 prisoners were forced to share a single toilet. Inmates were dying every 5 or 6 days from lack of medical care. Things were so bad that the U.S. Supreme Court ordered California to reduce its prison population. It ordered California to release 5,000 nonviolent inmates. How did Kamala Harris for the people respond? For nearly 4 years, Harris and the Democratic governor, Jerry Brown, refused to carry out the U.S. Supreme Court's decision. They would not let the prisoners out. One law professor compared this to the Southern racist governors during the Jim Crow South who refused federal court orders to desegregate the schools in the 1950s. Progressive prosecutor, my ass. Harris didn't do this for the people. She did this for the system that rules over and brutally oppresses the people. And what about police murder? You know, that epidemic that so many people know is an open wound in this country that steals life after life of mainly Black and brown and Native youth? During her years as San Francisco's DA and then California's Attorney General, there were almost 1,200 police-involved killings in California. Out of all of those 1,200 killings, only 2 times were charges brought against police. Harris even refused to support a 2015 bill that would have required the state's attorney general to appoint a special prosecutor to investigate police use of deadly force. She made a point of saying it wasn't her job to investigate police killings. Think about that. I mean, what the fuck is a job of a prosecutor if not to prosecute crimes? Except apparently for the crimes that she and the system she serves clearly doesn't give a rat's ass about, like police murder after murder after murder more than 1,200 times. Harris didn't do this shit for the people. She did this for the system that rules over the people. And then there's her claim that
as a young courtroom prosecutor in Oakland, California, I stood up for women and children.
Again, bullshit. Harris wouldn't prosecute murdering police, but she did aggressively prosecute parents who were often impoverished just because their kids were late for school or miss class altogether. She took glee in this. Kamala Harris needs to keep the words "for the people" out of her mouth. Harris didn't do any of this for the people. She did this for the system that rules over and brutally oppresses and terrorizes the people. And now she is running for the highest office in the land. And if you support her, this is what you are signing up for and reinforcing. Bob Avakian cuts to the heart of this in his social media dispatch, Revolution 71.
Kamala Harris is not part of any real solution. She is a big part of the problem. And what is the problem? It's this system of capitalism, imperialism, which Harris serves, which all these politicians have to serve if they want to get in office and stay in office, especially any high office like president. It's this system that is the fundamental cause of all the hell that people are put through, not just in this country, but all over the world. It's this system that needs to be swept away, overthrown through an actual revolution, and replaced by a much better system.